All right, it's saying I'm live. It's saying I've been live for 3, 4, 5 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, I am just taking a moment or two here to let some people come in. I see some of our regulars in the chat. I see all kinds of people coming around. How much longer? Says Godzilla Magic School Bus. 0 minutes and 0 seconds. We're going live right now. I'm just kicking this live stream off with a little bit of hello, a little bit of how you doing, shouting out some of our regulars in the chat. Ishmael Jones, hi. Irish Lover 7745 couldn't be here last week, but here he is this week. Excited to have you along. Thanks everybody for joining. What you're looking at on your screen is my website, theshawnwardshow.com. You could open up a new tab and show us a little something to check out my website while you're waiting for this show to start. In another tab, of course, leave this open because we're basically just giving it a few moments for some people to come on in, check out the show, and then, you know what? Let's just kick things off with the video, and then we'll be live. We got a whole bunch of topics. It's going to be an exciting show today. I hope you enjoyed what I put in the title because there's some huge news to come, all coming up. The Sean Ward Show Live is happening right now.
Let's go!
At the age of 6, mega superhero fan Sean Ward was hit with a thunderbolt of truth. Grown-ups are idiots figuring things out no different than kids are. A revelation inspired by his villainous grade 1 teacher. Years later, with his childhood dreams all but dead, Sean found himself dialing for dollars with no hope in sight. He decided then and there, it was time to make a change.
So it's making the proclamation, you know what, if I'm going to be a famous comic book creator, if I'm going to be a famous entertainer someday, then I have to be a famous entertainer today, rather than puttering about and hoping that the rest of the world gives me permission.
Now, Sean is revolutionizing social media through fun and wacky superhero videos, bursting past 3 million subscribers and flirting with 1 billion views. He is rivaling the numbers of the likes of Will Smith and The Breakfast Club. Ladies and gentlemen, Super Sean Ward.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Monday, the Sean Ward Show Live. I'm Sean. I'm here in the studio in a secret underground location high in the sky above Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Ontario, Canada, one of a very small number. I heard 3, but I don't know if that's official. One of a very small number of locations still locked down. That's right. We are still experiencing some pretty strict lockdowns. We are under a stay-at-home order as I speak. Sorry if this is going to make a weird noise. I just got to move the microphone. Oh, did that make an ear crackling noise like enough to drive you guys crazy? I hope not. Oh, man, this has been, I'm looking really forward to today's show, everybody, because I put more work than ever into planning it. I got little graphics for you and all kinds of stuff. Well, like, let me just because it's fun. Let me just like, boop, boop, boop. Oh, it's a little preview. No, we got lots to talk about today. I've even got a rundown. I had to write down like a rundown of all the topics we're going to cover today because today is just that bonkers. All right. So everybody in the chat, first and foremost, I got to thank everybody who came to join us today. Thank you for taking some time out of your your hard-earned day. I was taking your time to come and join me today. I appreciate everybody who's watching, and I especially appreciate everybody who's in the chat. If you want to have your say, you got to get on in this. Whether you're watching this on the YouTube or on the Facebook, just put it on. Get in there, get in the chat that's going, and we'll put your chats live on screen, like so. Let's check this out. Raphael says, "Hi, hello to you." Irish Lover is up in the place. Irish Lover is a regular. He's a member, by the way. See the little symbol beside his name? That little symbol right there? That tells you he's a member. So if you want to become a member, it's real easy to do. Just go to patreon.com/Sean Ward and become a Sean Wardian. I'm going to have a lot more to tell you about what that entails and what you can get when you do that, but that's going to be coming up. Right now, I'm just giving a shout outs to everybody who's joining us. A big old hey to Steve Morales. Let's see. Will Sean's laptop be fully charged? Oh, you missed the show last week, so you didn't find out the news, the technical news. We're not doing the laptop no more. The laptop is still putting this logo up on the screen right here. You know, I just want to shut this door. I forgot to shut a door while I was getting ready, so I don't know if it's going to impact the sound. When we're recording, I'm in the same room where we record our videos. like the special effects videos, the main videos on this channel. The green screen that we record against is right there. I'm just at the other end of the same room where we do our videos. And we always have to shut that door because the audio gets messed up if we don't. So you can tell me if you think it makes a difference. All right, so here's the scoop, Irish lover. We've got I've got 2 iMacs in the other room in the editing station. And because of lockdowns and all the stuff that's going on with that, I don't have a second person sitting at the other editing station very often. So I have moved that other editing iMac into this room. And this is now like designated as my live streaming iMac. I've got a beautiful, gorgeous 27-inch iMac that is now dedicated to my live streaming. I'm spoiled that way. It's got, but it's good. It's a big screen to stretch out, and I've got everything that I need for today's show is all on that screen right now. I'm looking at the playback. I'm looking at the website when I decide to show it to you. I'm looking at my list of topics that we got for today. I've been spending the last several hours making graphics and whatnots. But yeah, Irish lover, we got an iMac with the Wi-Fi turned off. It's hardwired into the router. So not only are we not using the laptop, but we should have, last week, the connection was beautiful. It was so stable. I could come out at you. Oh, my lips and my lips and my sound were in sync. The pixels in the screen, there's just so many of them. Yeah, hardwiring it in last time was like, I knew it was going to be better, but I didn't know it was going to be that better. All right, scrolling on down. Let's see who else we got to talk to in here. Hey, look, it's me telling you I'm literally about to hit the go live button. What up? Here's one from Jacobanak. Did I say that right? How are you? I'm terrific. 10 out of 10. So excited. If you saw last week's stream, then you know I'm excited. And if you're a member of Sean Wardian on Patreon or here on the YouTube channel, then you've been getting the members only updates that are telling you what's going on and why I'm doing so good. Very exciting stuff happening around here. This is a comment that I saw that I had a good feeling about. Lisa Bombach saying, I randomly got in here. Well, hopefully you're still around to see your comment on screen. That's hilarious. Sheila Thompson saying, hey to you. Okay, we're going to catch up with some more. A lot of comments coming in fast and furious. I appreciate all of you who have got your comments up on the screen. Oh my God, it just refreshed. I got to scroll up so far to hide that one. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen out there in Sean Ward land, here's the scoop. I've told you before about how you can get my exclusive members-only art magazine. Right there, you're looking at the cover, and you get this by becoming a member. So if you either click join here on the YouTube or go to patreon.com/Sean Ward, and you will get this original. Everything in it is hand done by me. There's no computer fonts. There's no typing. It's 16 page, it's my art magazine, and literally everything in it is hand done by me. This is taking you back to my like comic book roots. In fact, I got a couple things right here that I wanted to show you. This right here is a comic book from back in the day. So picture me before I even owned a computer, let alone a smartphone, let alone, I told you last week about how I used to have to go across the hall to my roommate's room to use his computer and want to check my email back in the day. So because I was so poor, starving artist and all of that, I used to make my own comic books, and here in Toronto, go up and down the downtown streets, literally like walking up to this, like, hey, you want to buy a comic book? Like up in strangers' faces and getting enough people, just doing that until enough people buy them that I can pay the rent. You know what I'm saying? So wild times back in the day. So we went from, this is like the origin of me as an artist, right? And so a little while ago, I wanted to bring that forward, and I got one of these out. I haven't shown you this in a while. Oh, I should have made a slide for it. Whatever, next week. This right here is my real life superhero comics, and this is something that we had for Comic-Cons, and we gave them away. We mailed them to people. This was back in the date will be in the front. Let me take a look. This is 2016 we did this. So way back in 2016, when we were like getting up near 1 million subscribers back in the day, we made a comic book where all of the pages, like there's no drawings. It's all the panels are like screen grabs from our videos. So we took our videos on the YouTube channel and turned them into comic strips and made a little thing like this to give away. We used to run a promotion at the Comic-Con when we would have our booths. And we're not just talking about Toronto. We're talking about like all over the place. New York Comic-Con, LA Comic-Con, Chicago, Seattle, Orlando. How many Comic-Cons have we been to? So many. But we used to do a thing where all you had to do was come up on your phone and show us that you're subscribed to the channel, and you would get this for free, as well as stickers and whatever else we could load you up with. And then all of that gets put into, this is like the same creativity tumbling forward and looping into what we got going on now. So this right here is my art magazine that is brand new. It's the very first issue of the Sean Ward Show, The Works. Here, I'll put it back on screen for you. The Works, this is the spring 2021 edition. Brand new first issue. So this is why it's so exciting and why I would love for you to jump on this now, become a member now, become a Sean Wardian now, because it means you're going to be getting in at the very beginning. I got a new one that's going to be coming out for the summer. I want to get it out near the end of June. So we're at like not quite a month and a half, call it 6 weeks or so. And then there's going to be a new issue. So if you want to make sure that you get the first one and that you can say in the future that you were there since the very beginning, you got to get on the Patreon or click join now so that I can send you one of these in the mail. Now, the other reason why it's an exciting time for that is because if I've got your address and you're a member already, then you've got something in the mail coming. The new stickers are going to be here this week. It's a 2-pack. You're going to get 2 stickers in the mail if you're a member, and I'm going to show them to you for the very first time right now. Here you go. The new stickers. Boom. There you go. That is the new sticker pack with those 2 stickers coming at you. One is the logo for the show, and the other one is the cartoon version of me as seen in that recent video, how I got my first 1 million views on YouTube. So that's a little cartoon version of me that I absolutely cannot wait to stick absolutely everywhere. If I was traveling, then I would tell you what cities to get ready to see this in, because I would be taking it with me. I would book extra time at the end of a Comic-Con. Like usually what would happen is when I'd go out of town for a Comic-Con, I would book extra days at the end of the Comic-Con. So if the Comic-Con, it's a weekend, so I wouldn't go home until Tuesday or Wednesday because I'm booking extra time to stay in town and go making videos, not just sightseeing, but going making videos at all the cool places. People that I made friends with at the Comic-Con who are local, arranging to them to meet up. Like we've got that video on the Brooklyn Bridge on the YouTube channel. And that was literally, I'm down there at New York Comic-Con with Jason Melf, who very good friend of mine, collaborator, frequent collaborator, tens of millions of views, tens of millions of views on the videos that we've made together. It's been a hilarious, awesome, fun collaboration. And the video that we did where it's us, he's Green Goblin and he's fighting Spider-Man, and we're on literally the real life Brooklyn Bridge doing one of our like prank fight videos where they're shooting silly string at each other, all this kind of stuff. Hilarious video. And we shot that on the Monday of New York Comic-Con that year. And we literally just found a guy that had an awesome Spider-Man costume who we were going to get to do it, bailed at the last second. So we met this guy, reached out to him because we followed each other on social media, said, we know this is a long shot, but do you think you could come do this video with us, play Spider-Man in this hilarious prank video that we want to do in the Brooklyn Bridge? And he goes, oh, that's hilarious, because I actually go to college and my school is right beside the Brooklyn Bridge. And I've got this very brief window of time between classes when I could go home, grab the costume, do that thing in the Brooklyn Bridge, and then get to my next class because it's all right there anyway. We're just like, sometimes the universe is just talking to you. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of thing I used to do when I would go to the Comic-Cons. Now, what I would do now is that same thing, find somebody local, arrange to make videos in town a day or two after the Comic-Con. But then now I would have to book an extra day to go all over town, sticking this sticker of my cartoon face all over the place. Because I want to be in line at like the bank or any place like that, fast food restaurants, anything like that. Like I would just so love to be someplace and be hearing people in line either behind me or in front of me and just overhear them talking about like that little sticker. And like, I keep seeing that all over the place. Who was that supposed to be? Like, that'd be so funny. That's like my dream for that sticker is really, as soon as I drew it and I was like, oh, this is smoking red hot. I love this. I want to make this a sticker and put it absolutely everywhere. So if you're a member, you'll get one and you could put it anywhere. In fact, maybe I'll include a couple so that you can have one to keep, one to stick wherever you want, and then a couple extra to like put in like mysterious places for people to see. Don't put the logo anywhere. Somebody once took my logo, the logo one right there. Somebody once took my logo and stuck it to the back of a seat on like the subway. And of course I got in trouble for that. Or somebody reached out to me, said they saw it. So apparently the bus people were mad. Whatever. You know how it goes. All right. So that's the new stickers. Very excited to get those out to all of our members. So if you want to make sure that you get those stickers in the mail, and if we haven't sent you one yet, you would also be getting a copy of my VIP art magazine with everything all hand done. What's inside is like sketchbook pages, art from recent videos, little doodles that I've done, stuff like that. This page turning sound is for all the ASMR lovers out there. So yeah, sketchbook pages, stuff that nobody was ever supposed to see, little secret stuff I was doing, not even secret, just like, doodling on my iPad or whatever. But now we put a book of it together, like a letter from me, all handwritten. It's right. So we'll send you a copy of that. We'll send you the new stickers, and get ready to get the new summer issue of the Sean Ward Show, The Works. If you I forgot to say it, that's what it's called. As you can see right down there, right? Sean Ward Show, The Works is the title of the quarterly magazine that goes out to all of our members. So if you look at the title of this live stream, it says The Snyder Cut, the Movie, right? The Snyder Cut, the Movie is a new project that we're starting on. And I started talking about this to you last week. What I was telling you was that it started out as I wanted to do an animation video in the same style as the one that I just put up called How I Got My First 1 Million Views on YouTube. So that's the video where it's me telling the story of that big event, right? My first 1 million views. Can you even imagine how big a deal that is? How many of you out there have had 1 million views? And if you haven't, like what would that mean to you if we uploaded a video and just out of nowhere, you could never have predicted it, it just sailed, went crazy viral, and you got 1 million views like all in a big sudden? Like, how would that make you feel? What would that be like? And not only that, but all of the just insane cartoon revelry that was going on that night. What I did is I'll click this here for you, show you to it on my website. So you can see how I got my first 1 million views on YouTube. If you go to the SeanWardShow.com, there's the video embedded right there. But then all of the art from the video, I've turned it into a scrollable like comic strip on the website. So you want to find out everything you want to know about how I got my first 1 million views on YouTube. The whole story is right here, leading up to like what I was doing on TV and music and all this kind of stuff that led to making that video that was a Batman video when The Dark Knight Rises was about to come out, and all the crazy stuff that happened, how insane a night that was, hanging out with my childhood idols, Naughty by Nature, while the video's going viral, the whole impromptu party that we had at the nightclub, the night that it went viral, the night that it reached 1 million views. And so you can find out the whole story here on my website, theSeanWardShow.com. And yeah, it's nuts. It's a wild time how all of this, and you can sign up right there. You just want another go with the sticker, boom, right there. So there's me with my 1 million subscribers plaque. It was about 4 years from getting my first 1 million views to getting my 1 million subscribers plaque, but that's a story for another time. The point with this thing called the Snyder Cut, the movie, is that I originally thought I was going to do a video in the style of that How I Got My First 1 Million Views video, right? Where it's just me telling the story and there's art and animation over top of that. And it was going to be, 5, 6, 7 minutes long. That was the idea that I had at first. But then I sat down to write it and I was like, there's so much here that it just sort of like writes itself and tumbles out. So I saw a trailer for a Netflix project called The Way of the House Husband. And I bought the book on Comixology literally just so that I can compare the book to the Netflix show. And I wanted to see whether or not they took the art from the comics and just like scanned it and moved it around and turned that into the animation, or what kind of a process did they go through to translate the comic book to the Netflix show. I'm getting deep is the point that I'm trying to make. I saw the trailer for this project called The Way of the House Husband, and that inspired me. And that made me think that I had to do this Snyder Cut project, not as me telling the story and illustrating over top, but actually like as an animated film with characters and dialogue and all that kind of stuff. So last week, and this, I'm trying to think if this happened before the last live stream or after. I'm not exactly sure. You can tell me in the comments if I'm repeating myself. But sometime very, very recently in the last week and a half, I was on my way to bed at a perfectly reasonable hour, and I just had to jot something down on my notebook. So I'm going to interrupt that story because someone sent a super chat, and I don't want to risk it expiring while I'm telling the story. Thank you so much to Irish Lover 7745 for the super chat. Love that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. And he has a question. Hey, did you see YouTube put Batman 66 the movie out on Saturday? No, I did not. Like officially, was it a limited edition, like limited time thing, or like a? I have. That sounds so weird. That like, because I think it's 20th Century Fox. Oh my God, I just realized something. Here's hashtag irony for you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, first of all, let me get Irish Lover's comment on screen. Where is it? Where do we go here? There, it's highlighted. Boom. Got to put it on screen. Irish Lover, thank you so much for the super chat. Anybody else there, if you find it in your heart to click the button to send a super chat and support this show, like literally put your money where your mouth is and support this show. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate it, because with what I'm doing with this Snyder Cut the Movie project, it's gonna be like we're gonna be able to use any support that you can throw our way. But yeah, Irish Lover, he's talking about this Batman 66 movie that apparently is out on YouTube just for free. Is that the deal? That seems strange. But that's fantastic if it's the case. Would love that to be the case, because that movie is it's old enough now, and kind of we've had a bit of a turnover in the generation, that the generation that was nostalgic for that movie has kind of like gotten older, and the generation coming up now, I don't think that movie or that show was a part of their lives at all. So it's up to us to keep the Batman 66 fires burning. So thank you so much for the super chat, Irish Lover. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now, back to the story of the Snyder Cut the movie. Okay, thought it was going to be a 5-minute animated film, just me telling the story, animating it, YouTube video, and maybe we'll turn it into one of these comic strips for the website, just like I was talking about with the million views one just now. But then as I got working on it, the story just kept tumbling out to where I kept on seeing it as like almost a movie, like feature length. And now I'm thinking, oh, don't tell me that I'm signing up for a feature length project. That's just more than we can take on. That just seems so big, obnoxiously big, not worth the bother big. Like, why would we do that? That just sounded crazy, right? So here's what happened a week and a half ago is I was on my way to bed at a perfectly reasonable hour. And as I was making the turn into the living room to go just jot down something really quick as it came to me, I made that turn into the living room, and I was very conscious of the thought where I went, oh crap, this is the muse showing up. I'm going to have to be writing all night, because I felt the fever come over me to sit down, open my laptop, and just start typing out all of the notes for this Zack Snyder's Justice League, like the movie, about the behind the scenes drama. I just started typing because I wanted to break that story down, not even doing any additional research, just based on me having followed that story and me being a fan of this stuff. I followed it, I wrote it all down, and I wanted to get it into the 15 beats. If you've ever heard of a screenwriting book called Save the Cat, stop it. That's my laptop making dingy dong noises over there. If you've ever heard of a screenwriting workbook, or sorry, a book about screenwriting called Save the Cat, one of the things about it is it has like the 15 beats that every successful movie plot, screen story needs to hit. So I wanted to sit down and break down the behind the scenes drama of the Snyder Cut and Justice League and all that kind of stuff into those 15 beats. Couldn't help but notice this villain sign is flipped around. And so I'm looking at myself on two different screens here. One's on my computer and one's the monitor hooked up to the camera. Anyways, as I was saying, just based on my, much more deep knowledge than your average person, right? Because this is my world. I'm in this stuff. So just based on my passing knowledge of the story so far, I broke it down into those beats, and I got to show you something. So check this out. This right here, I put this on my Instagram story last week, and I had so many people send me DMs of fire emojis and that 100 emoji because they were just mad for it. And I guess they thought the title had some pizzazz, but that was just to let everybody know that I'm working on this thing and kind of putting it out there, being unafraid, because this project, I'm taking the story in like a multitude of directions at once, and I got to stay on track because there actually is a fun story here. So, like I said, that night that I wrote, I was putting everything into that 15 a Word document with the 15 plot beats according to the Save the Cat method. And I swear to God, it felt like I was watching little pieces of the universe coming from all over the place and going click, 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 just falling into place on their own. I didn't feel like I was doing anything. I felt like I was just a conduit for this, right? So I got the whole story into those 15 beats. And since then, and I think since last week's live stream, I've got the script started, 5 pages into the first draft. I'm now reading a book called Release the Snyder Cut, which is a work of nonfiction about the whole thing, the behind the scenes drama of making the movie, plus the Snyder Cut hashtag movement and all this different stuff that's gone on. And I'm updating my like plotted out, scene list as I'm reading this thing. So right now I'm reading it. I'm listening to it more accurately. I've got it on Audible, right? Not a sponsor. So I'm listening to this book about the whole thing. I'm trying to get through it as fast as I can the once, so that after I've already heard it, I can go back through it a second time and start pulling out all the details to add to my script. Because now I'm at the point where it's like a major plot point is that the Suicide Squad trailer came out and it was a big hit. And the way that the reception to the Suicide Squad trailer caused the executives at Warner Brothers to what do we do? And they gave the movie to the company that made the trailers to actually edit the movie. Like, we've read articles about that, like the blogosphere has been all over that for a long time. But the difficulty then that I'm now at right now is, how do you take that kind of thing and dramatize it and pick a place where characters are going to be and what those characters are saying and the actions that they're doing? How do you get those kind of like broad cultural points across in dialogue and action? It's a huge challenge, but it's a super fun challenge. And every step of the way, I just get more and more confident about this project, to the fact where we have now low-key, officially, cold open style announced it, sort of. Well, I mean, I did title this video that it is the Snyder Cut, the movie, week 0 production. And this is what I'm getting at. All of this stuff that I'm thinking about making this video for months, and the stuff that's coming into my brain now about how to turn it into a movie, it's now kind of crystallized, and the idea is out there, and I've got my team together. I'm working with my sister, who you all know, working with my sister is a dream come true, turning this into a family business. She's going to be the boss of the art and animation. I'm going to be the boss of the story and the direction. So basically produced, written, and directed by me, art and animation by my sister, Cass Lyon. I wish I had a button I could press to put her Instagram on the screen right now. But check her out, Cass Lyon Art on Instagram. And I'm trying so hard to keep the scope of this project as modest as possible. But everything that I learn, new scenes keep getting added, and new levels of intrigue and new interesting character dynamics. It's just such a like Greek tragedy, epic scope thing that went on behind the scenes of that movie that I'm just so excited to do it as a movie. And a big part of the reason why I'm so excited is because I've had the idea to expand and diversify my business. So the Sean Ward Show is not just about, this YouTube channel. It is, as the website tells you, comics, videos, and music. The Sean Ward Show isn't just the videos that I upload to this YouTube channel. The Sean Ward Show is like a pop culture, a pop art philosophy that applies to anything that I've worked on. And the website right now is just like the best job that I can do to try to communicate that philosophy and get it across. You know what I mean? So the whole thing was about to grow the Sean Ward Show and expand like our offerings and level up, right? So back in 2018, I thought we were going to do that by producing a 15-minute horror film that you've heard me talk about before. The film is fantastic and is sitting in a drawer unreleased because of some conflict with the writer-director. Don't really need to get into that right now. But suffice it to say that the mistake I made there was investing in someone else's vision and someone else's idea. I thought that it'd be a good thing to kind of get out of my own way, take myself out of it, and, you know, let my blessings help other people flourish. But then once I went through it and realized that, like, that's $15,000, I literally would have done better just like open up a window and throw cash out into the street and watch what happens. At least that would have been fun. But that was supposed to be the project that was going to take this whole business, the Sean Ward Show, beyond this YouTube channel, up to a whole new level. And so 2018 is when we produced that film. I got sort of like jerked around all the way through to 2019. Now we're talking about my baby being born and me kind of, you know, putting a lot more emphasis and focus on family. And by the time I started kind of gathering my thoughts and collecting and realizing how much time had gotten by, boom, all pandemic lockdowns and whatnot came in. So all of the stuff that we thought we were going to be doing in 2020 all went on hold. And it wasn't until recently that we've come out of this mode of kind of like creatively treading water, creatively just going, okay, what else can we do while we're waiting for like life to come back online? Only recently did I get to that place of realizing, like, I have to operate from the place of like all those things that we thought we were going to be doing back then. If we ever get to do them, figure it's a nice surprise. Operate from the principle right now that that's never going to happen. We're not waiting until we can do that stuff that we had originally planned. We got to just ditch that and come up with all new plans. So when this idea revealed itself to me to do the Snyder Cut as like an animated film inspired by the animation style of that Way of the House Husband show on Netflix, it's just like the excitement level keeps rising and keeps coming up. And I keep getting so excited about it that I'm trying to push it down because I'm like, I'm getting too carried away. One of my like personality flaws in life is getting so excited about stuff that I put the cart before the horse, or just start running, figuring that like we don't need to make plans or, you know, do research. We just got to get moving and figure it out as we go, right? And so it's funny how, like, for the longest time, I didn't ever want to let nobody know what my plans are, because if it doesn't come true, then, you know, I didn't want everybody to be able to say, ha ha, you know what I mean? Like, this is all subconscious stuff. I'm not conscious of any of this when it's happening. This is all what I'm realizing after the fact, looking back, right? Is that I've got all kinds of plans that I wanted to do to expand my career, but I don't ever want to tell anybody about it. I want to wait until the thing's done so I can like unleash it and go, ha ha, see, but you never predicted. But now I'm going the whole other way. Now I'm just telling everybody everything. And this is now where we're getting into why this live video right now has the title that it does, why it's called The Snyder Cut, the movie production week 0. And it's week 0 because this is the very beginning. This is the point where we take all of the ideas for it, right? Everything that I thought it was going to be, this might be interesting, blah, blah, blah. We put that all in a tidy little pile, right? And the work officially starts right now. So as of right now, what's going to happen next week will be week 1. And I'll tell you what we accomplished. I'm trying really hard to get a first draft of the script done by the next time we have one of these live streams. That will be fun to be able to give you that update. What I got to do in life right now is to just try to like fly as fast as I can to getting the script to a place where I can hand it off to my sister, who's looking after the art and animation, and she can take it from there. And she's now doing the heavy lifting on it while I'm still directing and being involved on a producer level, but I've freed up a little bit of my attention for other things. I'm so creatively on fire with this right now that I've actually had to cancel other things. We're not shooting a video this week. This week's production week on Wednesday, canceled, because I want to give all of my time this week to finishing this script. That's where I'm at right now, is where it's just like a burning thing in life where I have to race to get to that place where I've got the script done and we're in production on the actual video. So what's going to happen here on this YouTube channel and with these weekly live videos is I realized that this could be a really fun way to not only solidify our bond by taking you with me and giving you such an intimate, up-close look at the process, the creative process. If I'm coming on here week by week and giving you a production update every single week, You know what I'm saying? I can't help but think that that's really going to like do a lot of things for our relationship, for you to be able to see everything we're going through as we're going through it, up to the minute reports, you know what I mean? And you could actually watch the whole project come alive. For me to be sitting here on week 0 talking about it as this thing that I'm excited to do, I don't know how long it's going to take. But what I'm excited about is to see how long it takes, what week we're at, when is the live stream that I'm coming on here and I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, the movie's locked. It's done. You're going to see it really soon. Like, how many weeks is that going to be? How long is it going to take to get there? I don't know. But I'm okay with not knowing. And that's part of it too, is just letting go and let it be what it's going to be. Let it unfold and let you and I, the viewer, go on this journey literally together. You're going to learn as I'm learning. And then everything that we learn, and as difficult or as easy and as smooth as this, I'm sure it's going to have aspects that are easy and smooth, and it's going to have other aspects to it that are like infuriatingly difficult. I'm sure we're going to experience all of that. I'm sure there's going to be delays. There might even be weeks where I come on here to give you the update and I've got nothing to say other than we're still working on that same shot. It's just so hard. We're trying so hard. It hasn't worked. Like, I'm sure maybe there'll be weeks like that. You know, I'm hoping, knock on wood, manifest that it all goes very, very smoothly. We can get this thing finished for you. I don't think it's going to be like a month. I think it's going to be a little while, because I keep trying to rein the scope of the project in, and it just keeps on like expanding and expanding and expanding. So this being week 0, this is the point where I really affirm, okay, that's it. I told you before that I had this idea, but now I'm here to tell you that the idea is happening. The next thing that we're taking on is this big project called, tentatively titled, The Snyder Cut the Movie, where I'm going to do a movie, an animated film about the behind the scenes drama of the Justice League and Suicide Squad, and how, like, the hero's journey that Zack Snyder goes on to get his version of the movie seen by the public. It's a fantastic story. It's got conflict. It's got sexual intrigue. It's got interesting twists, betrayal, backstabbing, like just so much juicy stuff to this story. Oh, I'm so excited, and I can't wait to do this, and I can't wait to be looping you in. So I'm thinking back to when I was a teenager. I know I'm rambling a lot, but I'm hoping that somebody out there is a creative person and you're hearing me and you're getting something out of this. When I was a teenager, okay, I was checking books out of the library that Spike Lee had written, the movie director Spike Lee. I don't know if he does it anymore. It's been a long time since I checked in on him. But back in the day, I noticed at the library that they had a book that had been published where it was Spike's notebook that he kept through the entire production of his movies. I had the one for Do the Right Thing, and I had the one for Malcolm X. And so basically you're reading his private journal, everything. It's me, like in the first person, him taking you on the journey of making these projects from like the very first instance that it occurs to him to do it, all the way through to like the movie being out there and the reception that it has gotten, and it's now a product of the culture and everything in between. That's what I want to do with this. Only now we have the internet, we have live streaming. I want to do it in real time. Every week, this live stream will be like a chapter of that book. We're going to come on here. We'll tell you about how the Snyder Cut the Movie is coming along, what part we're at, what we're working on, what scene we're working on now. And it'll be fun to kind of go through that story with a fine-tooth comb. And like the week that we're working on the scene where the CEO of Warner's is having Me Too assault allegations thrown at him, like, to get into that story and talk about what happened in real life and a little bit about what we're doing to like turn it into this cartoon, how we're doing it. Like, those are going to be fun conversations to have, and I can't wait. So I just showed you the script on the wall. I just put that on my Instagram story. And here's another peek for you. This is the wall above, a very, very close detail look at the wall above my editing station in the office. I'm over here in the studio, and then there's a door right there on the other side of which is the office area. So the studio's on this side, office is over there, and my big computer that I do all the main editing machine in this place, the wall above that computer, it's a big expansive space of just all white. And that wall has now been taken up with the beat board for this movie, the Snyder Cut the Movie. So that's just a little detail view, but like imagine those Post-it notes that are marking out act breaks, plot points, the setup, all that kind of stuff. That's all taking up that whole big wall above my computer. So the Snyder Cut is Go, the movie, and this is a voyage that we're going to take together. And now everybody who came with me on that little journey of telling you all what happened with that, uh, thank you so much for still tuning in and listening to all of that. If you're still listening after that long-winded thing that I just went on, I guess that means that you're going to go on this journey with me, and I will look forward to seeing you week in and week out. Now, I've talked a lot, and I got to get into some of your comments. I noticed just now that I missed a super chat. Jedi Kenobi, thank you for the super chat. I'm sorry that I didn't get to talk while it was on the screen, but I'm very, very glad that I caught it as I scrolled up the chat right now. Nah, that's the one and only Sean, man. You know it is. You know it is. And I don't mind you talking about me in that context because, you know, my whole philosophy, and this is actually something that is like one of the main drivers, the big thrust of the creative inspiration of doing the Snyder Cut, the movie, is that whole fact is the Zack Snyder. I'm basically going to give him in the movie my philosophy about how artists, creative people are the real life superheroes, and your talents and your creativity, those are your superpowers. And your rogues gallery, all the villains, is everything that gets thrown at you that distracts you or demotivates you, whether it's people in your life who are unsupportive, procrastination, wasting time, anything that keeps you from like getting the product out, letting it hit the streets, starting to make your name. Those are all the rogues galleries. And it's literally like an act of heroism in this life to conquer all of that and get it going. Oh man, we got so many fantastic comments here, and I'm trying to see how far I got to scroll up to get some of the ones. Don't okay, I didn't want to laugh at that. Oh my goodness, dude, you guys are too cool with all of these comments. Oh shit, yo, dudes, I've got to stop scrolling right now and put this guy on screen. Got my Electric Comics free, got first printings safely stored over there in Canada. Okay, so Kahi Machine, this is a man who I have not seen or spoken to in, I couldn't even tell you how long, maybe 10 years or more, but way back when I was doing like my street hustle comic book thing back in the day, that's when I knew him. And he was probably, I think he was the guy who was the first person I know who got into podcasting, because what I remember is that when he was talking about doing a podcast, I had to ask him, what's a podcast? Like the very, very beginning of podcasting, even being a thing, he was the guy that got on it. And he was a friend of mine from here in my hometown of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And the way that you're talking here with this comment saying that you got yours stored safely over there in Canada, last I knew you were in France, living in Paris. If you're even still watching, leave it in the comment and let me know if you're still living in France, if not, where you're at now. And better yet, send me an email directly. I would love to catch up with you, bro. It's been years since we chatted. Have no idea what you saw or what you clicked on to get in here, but awfully glad you did. What a blast from the past. I will take that as a sign from the universe that I'm on the right path, because this is where it gets a little bit crazy, ladies and gentlemen, is if you're like me, then you have this belief that there's no such thing as coincidence, and that there is a mode of tuning into the universe. This is kind of getting into like my philosophy about real life superpowers here, but like these powers of fifth dimensional manifestation that anybody has, and it's real, it's magic that actually exists. But the trick is that you got to believe in it for it to work. That whole thing, and that I won't even get into right now, suffice it to say. But what I wanted to say is the point that, like, as I'm doing this thing where I'm connecting the old with the new to turn it into something brand new and hopefully something timeless, right? All these disparate threads from my life are kind of all coming up, and stuff like Chris Kahi coming out of nowhere to say what's up, like little things like that keep happening that are just let me know I'm on the right track, and that this path I'm on of doing the Snyder Cut, the movie, and I haven't even got into why I'm doing it in terms of what it, once it's done and out there and I've got it to show people, what that helps us do next, and then what the combination of those helps us do after that. And that's all just setting us up for like we haven't even got there yet. That's the future. Who even knows what it holds, right? You can only have so much plans versus just letting things happen and seeing what happens and being delighted by it. But like all these disparate threads of my life kind of feel like they're all coming together right now. And Kahi Machine coming out of nowhere to say what's up is like, That's a big signal from the universe to me, dude. I love it. Thank you so much for coming on, man. Okay, Miles Morales says that he's on his tablet. I wonder if there's some context for that. I really got to scroll up. Okay, can everyone hear me good? This was me asking if everybody can hear me good. Okay, so that's about where I remember it being last. We got a few people that were telling me yes. Miles Morales saying that he's there's Kahi again. Yes, sir. All right. Hey Sean, how you doing? Jedi Kenobi on Instagram is me. I can't wait for the comic books. Best intro ever. I love. Thank you for that, dude. Oh, I can't let this one go by. Abigail Howard saying you're the best. I will take that. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. The Spider-Man video of you as Dr. Octopus was funny. It made my day. Jenny, that's literally the stuff that we live for, Jedi Kenobi. Thank you so much for putting that in there. For anyone who's watching this and doesn't know what he's talking about, well, you would because you're on my YouTube channel, right? The last video that we put up, last weekend's like brand new special effects superhero video was Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus, and we were riffing on how Alfred Molina let the cat out of the bag and kind of low-key confirmed in an interview when I'm sure he wasn't supposed to, that he is officially, as he put it, that he started talking about it, that he is Dr. Octopus and that Dr. Octopus is going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home. So we took that little news item and ran with it and turned it into a video where Dr. Octopus is back. And I don't want to say too much. I'll let you check it out. Suffice it to say, that is our most recent published video on the channel. And Jedi Kenobi loves it. All right. Jacob Banuk is asking, how are you? And the answer to that for me is like all the way 10 out of 10. You hear me talking. Oh, WWE CM Punk returns. Ask the same question. Dope. Here's a question. Teen Titans or Teen Titans Go? Which one is better? That's a great question, Ishmael. Well, first of all, Ishmael, thanks for coming back. I've seen this guy in the chat week after week, so thanks for being back. And as far as which one is better, probably Teen Titans Go, just because I love the cartoon. I love all kind of cartoon stuff. My favorite superheroes, Black Panther and Iron Man. Oh, man, well, we got one last topic to cover, but I wanted to catch up with your comments before I moved on to that topic, which, of course, is the Marvel. Oh, I made this dope graphic, and then I didn't make a screen for it. The Marvel mega trailer. Did you guys all see that? I'll get to that in a second. James Trainham. Hey, Sean, what's up to you? It's almost my birthday, May 11th. Sheila Thompson. Well, early happy birthday to you. What's today? The 3rd? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so Sheila, the next time we do one of these Monday live streams next week is going to be the day before your birthday. So come on back in. Remind us that it's your birthday the next day, and we'll make a big special shout out for you then. And that'll be great too, because that'll mean that you came back. And for 2 weeks in a row, I got to do something for you. My birthday was this Saturday. Well, my birthday's not till November. That story of your neighbor as the only access to internet is too much. Dude, that's legit. Oh, man. Back in that day, because that's back when I had been working at minimum wage retail, working in a store, running the cash register or stuff like that, warehouse job. Telemarketing was always a thing. I could always if I ever need money, there's always a telemarketing job you could pick up lickety split, right? So I had been working at one of these telemarketing jobs and just stopped showing up to work because I just couldn't take it anymore. I was like, I felt that compulsion to go be an artist so strongly that I literally just stopped showing up to work with no idea how I was going to do it. I knew that I just had to try. And that led into some fun coincidences. Like I let that job go or just stopped showing up to work and then started getting offered illustration gigs for a magazine the same week, like within a couple of days. Like these things that you don't even understand how they happen, why they happen on the schedule that they happened. You can't pick it apart too much. You got to just go with it. But this is what I'm talking about with the universe talking to you and activating your real life superpowers. You know what I'm saying? So that led to doing comics, and then comics, selling them on the street, and that sort of talking to some of the right people. One thing led to another, a lot of ups and downs. Now we got this YouTube channel that's had the highest highs. And now we're at a point where I don't want to say we're at a low, but we're at a point where the decks are a little bit cleared for us to it's making room for us to hurry up and get on this job of working towards some of these bigger career goals that I've always wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And this movie is just a step in that direction. Very, very exciting. Love the Snyder Cut movie, says MG26. I loved it too. And that's part of the reason why I want to tell the story behind the scenes of it, is because the what Zack Snyder went through is one thing, but to actually see the finished product and it's actually good, and to feel like I underestimated him, I got the sense from watching it that that is the project that he had in mind. That Man of Steel and Batman v Superman and all that other stuff was all just like laying track towards that the point of it all, that was all prelude. And what he really wanted to do, the real like art for him was doing that Justice League movie. And that ending was so not what I was expecting from a Zack Snyder movie, to the point where I don't want to say too much about it at this stage, but one of the things that Save the Cat screenwriting book talks about is that your opening image and your closing image have to be like mirror images or somehow connected. You know what I mean? And so that ending of Justice League and how hopeful and optimistic it was gave me a beautiful way to frame my opening image and closing image in this movie. I'm so excited to make this movie. I'm sure you can tell. H Gaming saying, love your vids. Love you for watching them, dude. Thank you so much. Sean, can you do another watch along? Yeah, I do. Okay, well, you ask and we got to do it. So start putting some suggestions down in the chat on this video, on this live. Start putting some suggestions for what movie we should do next. There's usually got to be a theme, right? Like we asked you for the Batman one, like should it be Batman Begins, or should it be The Dark Knight, or should it be Batman 1989? Or previously it was like, you know, we usually do like, there's ones that we group together that we're going to vote on, but there's usually a theme that connects them all. So any kind of theme or a group of movies we can vote on, or even just tell me what one you think we should watch. And yeah, in the next couple of weeks, we should get another watch along going. And James Trainham, with any luck at all, you'll be there to see it. Advert Talkby Serene Talkby says, reply me back. I hope this counts. Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman are my favorites. Yeah, they call that the Trinity, right? The DC Trinity. Super Mario, Batman, Green Lantern, of course, The Crow. Those are your favorites, I take it? Because we're actually working on a video called Spiderman versus the Not So Sinister Six, and we're going to have riffs on a couple of these characters. Don't want to say too much about it just now, but that's coming soon. And there is Irish Lovers super chat once again as I scroll down and see who else is talking to me here. Oh, it just refreshed again. I hate when it does that because then I miss my spot. Oh, Alex Grant, long time fan and supporter. Hey, Sean, hello to you. Thank you so much for joining. I like him as the Joker. April, thank you for saying that. That's one of my favorite roles to play. One of the best things that I do. Some of the most fun that I have is playing the Joker. So I appreciate that comment so much. The back computer, Alfred. I'll take that. You are my decount. I don't know what that word is. Decount? Fave YouTuber. Either way, Lisa Bombach, thank you for saying that. Oh, man. They should make a video about the new Suicide Squad. I was just thinking that this morning. We got to do something big for that. I don't know what it is. But sending you love in the fam. Here's Kahi Machine. He's back again. Still in Paris. Have audio of a baby Sean Ward singing Jumpin' Jack Flash at karaoke. It's funny that you say that, dude, because I've got my little baby daughter now, and I was just recording audio with her on the weekend. But she's just a little baby. She's a year and a half, so she doesn't quite understand when I'm like pointing a microphone at her or what I'm wanting her to do. But I recorded some sounds that I want to manipulate into a beat. So it's like my little baby doing all the different vocal layers of this beat that I want to do. Hilarious. Blackmail insurance. Oh, dude, like I wouldn't like publish that myself if you sent it to me. Which Spider-Man is better, Miles or Peter? I don't know if it's a matter of better, but Peter is definitely the OG, the original for me. Nathan Barr, thanks, bro. Appreciate you, dude. It's a solid performance. I'm sure he'd be proud to release it. Yeah, you know it, dude. I'll sing. I've got a video. If you look on my other channel, my Sean Ward channel, my personal channel, there's a video of me in 2009 in San Francisco in a tuxedo in the middle of the afternoon at like a neighborhood barbecue, singing along to an easy listening instrumental version of Please Please Me, and I'm doing the vocals. And that's a video that's actually out. So this Jumpin' Jack Flash, I'll sing Jumpin' Jack Flash right now if somebody sends a big enough super chat. How about $20? Somebody wants to send a $20 super chat, I'll sing Jumpin' Jack Flash right now. I don't even care. Okay. Nightwing and Batgirl, Batman. Yeah, Sheila Thompson. Don't forget Starfire to spice it up with Batgirl and Nightwing. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so the last thing that we're going to talk about, and it's perfect timing because we're running out of time here, but the new Marvel mega trailer that just came out today. Did you guys see it? So this was the like 3.5 minute long thing that's all about the upcoming movies. And basically it starts off preying on your nostalgia and reminding you how much you loved things that you've already seen, and then talking about all the movies that we already know about, but then also giving us upcoming release dates for the Black Panther sequel, which is going to be called Black Panther Wakanda Forever, the Captain Marvel sequel. You know what? I think I've got a banner for this. Why am I not putting it on screen? Boom, Marvel mega trailer. Yeah, so the Captain Marvel sequel, which is now called The Marvels, and then Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, which just based on the title alone is the one that I'm the most excited about. But then did you notice, I meant to do a screenshot of this, but just ran out of time before I could like source screenshot the off the trailer. But when they're doing that list of movies, before it shifts away from it, the last thing, it doesn't have any date or the title or nothing, but a big giant Fantastic Four logo behind the Marvel logo. It's just there for a moment. I didn't even notice it the first time I watched the video, but the second time through, I saw it. And so obviously what's going on is something to do with like multiverse or whatever. The Fantastic Four, they're going to introduce them very, very soon. I'm still hoping, fingers crossed, that when it comes time to do the Fantastic Four movie, that they do it set in the 60s. We've seen so much World War II era, 90s in Oakland, like we've 90s in Captain Marvel, all these different eras of history that we've seen, like the Marvel version of it, but we haven't seen the 60s, which is nuts because the 60s is like when Marvel Comics started, is when Marvel Comics had its like big initial burst of popularity, right? All these characters that are why Marvel is what it is and why we love it so much, they all made their debut in the 60s, you know? So I want to see Marvel do New York in the 60s, and that's where the Fantastic Four comes in. And then I'll go with you wherever you want to go. If they got swallowed up by something and they've been in some pocket dimension this whole time, or they've been in the quantum realm this whole time, however many years, and they're only now getting out, or whatever you want to do, parallel dimension stuff, alternate dimension stuff, whatever. I'll go with you anywhere you want to go, as long as you just give me that. Give me that the first Fantastic Four movie is in the 60s. I want to see it. I want to see it so bad. And I think I've told you people before about my idea for a Fantastic Four parody video. And in fact, remember I was saying earlier about 2020 plans that we didn't get to do because the lockdowns and everything sort of interfere with those plans. We had a trip to Los Angeles planned, and we were going to make a couple of videos. Number one was going to be a rap song called The Death and Return of Superman. Still got the song, still waiting to put it out. But the idea is it was going to be this huge epic video. We were going to get cosplayers to play all the superheroes, and it was going to be nuts. I was going to go do this in LA. We were going to stage a big Superman funeral and be like rapping in front of it. It was going to be crazy. But we were going to also, while we were out there, do a big costume comedy parody movie called The Fantastic Four versus the Beatles. And it was going to take place in the 60s. And the idea was going to be that Galactus comes and attacks New York, and the Fantastic Four tries to stop him. They can't stop him. So something with the Blue Meanies from the Beatles' Yellow Submarine movie make it to New York, and they're like as big as Galactus. I was going to make a Galactus costume and build like a little miniature New York to Godzilla style, go like stomping on it. And then pandemic lockdowns happened, and nobody's going to LA, let alone to make a video. So that plan got the kibosh put on it. But this is telling you how badly that I want to see a Fantastic Four movie set in the 1960s. Please do it, Marvel. I'll be your best friend. Okay, so let me know. I'm going to check the last few comments here. Let me know which of the movies that Marvel announced today in this mega trailer are you most looking forward to. For me, it's probably Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, just because I love like how goofy and comedic those Ant-Man movies are versus the more serious tone of some of the other ones. But also, Wakanda Forever is going to be great because the title tells me that the focus is going to be less on who is the Black Panther and more on like the citizens of Wakanda and the extended cast, and be a little bit more of a team-up movie. We'll see how that goes. All right. April Anderson, love you so much. You are awesome. Thank you very, very much for that. And Pete Best as what's funny, dude, is I can actually see it. I can see how story-wise you can do that. Oh my God. I may have to use that. Don't sue me if I use that. And Daleb, Darren Caleb Martin is saying, what's up? Fantastic Four. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the hour. We are getting ready to wrap up this live stream. And one last time, I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming on this live stream with me, being here today. It means everything to me. The fact that more people were in here than last time, word is getting out. People are enjoying the live streams. We're still in a beta test. This is not still has no form yet. I still don't know what this live show is, what it's going to be, what we're going to do with it. But I do know that for the next handful of weeks, it's going to be the home of up to the minute updates about the creation of this animated film project that the scope of it just keeps expanding. I'm trying so hard to keep it at a manageable length. I'm thinking I want it to be like 30 to 40 minutes. I'm dreaming that I can keep it down to 30 or 40 minutes. But like when you're writing a screenplay, 40 scenes is the rule of thumb for a feature-length screenplay. I'm up to 36 scenes on this thing right now. I keep trying to cut stuff down, but then like a new aspect, a new angle comes in that I'm just like, oh, but I have to use that. It makes the story so much more juicy. And then, of course, you got to add stuff to other scenes to set up that as a big reveal or as a plot point or champagne problems, as they say. This is all very exciting stuff, and I'm very excited to be working on it. So come back next week. I'll tell you how the writing's going, and we'll be checking in with each other week by week as we create this movie and as we create videos for this YouTube channel, as well as creating awesome stuff to send you in the mail as a member, like a copy of my Sean Ward Show The Works quarterly art magazine, as well as these new stickers that are going to go out in the mail to all members and all patrons. So get on the Patreon or click join here on YouTube, and I will put this stuff in the mail to send to you right away. So thanks again for joining, everybody. I'm so happy, and I appreciate every single one of you for watching so much. I can't wait till next time with the update and putting more comments on the screen. I love it so much. Thank you so much for the super chats, and can't wait till next week. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon. Bye. Yeah. This is good advice, Ishmael. Dun, 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 dun.